Hello friends, today I want to help you understand what percentage of single-family homes are rented. Recently, there have been rumors of institutional investors buying and renting single-family homes at an alarming rate. But what percentage of single-family homes are actually rented? Well, by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of how many single-family homes are rented and why this market presents such a unique opportunity for both investors and renters, and what this actually means to you as a real estate investor. Have you ever wondered how much of the single-family home market is made up of rentals? Have you ever been curious about those rumors of these large institutional investors gobbling up these single-family homes and renting them at prices that are above market, so they have the ability to control that rental market? So stay tuned as I uncover the facts and trends driving this interesting dynamic. And I'll do this by first diving into the current economic condition when it comes to single-family homes and the rental market. I will then break down the number of single-family homes that are actually being rented and where institutional investors fall into these numbers. And finally, I'll go over a couple of really cool strategies that I'm doing right now when it comes to single-family homes and renting those out. If you're ready, let's go. So there's been these rumors that many of these institutional investors are gobbling up these single-family homes. So what impact does it have when these hedge fund companies are buying homes and renting them out? So obviously the scary answer to this is that these these institutional investors have the capital to buy way more homes than we ever could, and they have the power to drive up prices of these homes to price us out of the market, and then put the rental market in such a way that makes it difficult for the average person to rent these homes. And even worse than that, the average American to purchase a home. Many times they're able to even buy a home above asking price. And at the end of the day, they could create this dystopian rental market where a majority of single-family homes in the United States are rentals, taking away that dream of home ownership. Now, is that completely accurate? Is that what they're going to do? I don't know, but I've done some research and we're going to dive in and I'm going to explain to you where I see this going. Now, at the center of these institutional investors that have been rumored to be buying single-family homes, BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard. They are the three largest hedge fund companies in the world, with billions and billions of dollars under asset management. And even some outspoken politicians have gone as far to say that these institutional investors could own 60% of the single-family home market by 2030. Now that becomes pretty scary, but once again, let's dive into the truth behind that. There could be some fact, there could be some fiction mixed in there, and I've done a lot of research and there's quite a bit of information on both sides of the fence regarding this topic. And it's hard to sift between what is 100% accurate and what is speculation. So as I always encourage people, do your own research to make sure that you're in the know regarding this situation. But here are some points that I found really interesting. First off, let's understand who BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard are. And I know they have billions of dollars, but many of them could have trillions of dollars under asset management. And they invest in numerous worthwhile companies because they want to invest in these organizations and see them go from here to here. That's the whole goal behind these hedge fund asset managers, is they want to deploy capital and make lots of money. And so their thought process might be, well, if single-family homes are good for the individual investor, what about if we went out and purchased single-family homes on a much larger scale? Would those also be great investments for us as an organization and a way to diversify? Now, BlackRock has come out publicly and said they are not investing in buying single-family homes. And you might think, okay, that makes sense. BlackRock is an organization that invests in public companies. However, a company called Blackstone has made significant investments into single-family homes. So there could be a little bit of confusion there. But it's interesting to know that Blackstone isn't even one of the largest companies out there buying single-family homes. Progress Homes, Invitation Homes, American Homes for Rent, First Key Homes all own over 50,000 single-family homes. So now that we've disseminated what companies and organizations own most of the single-family homes, let's find out what percentage of the market that these players actually own. So there are roughly 100 million single-family homes in the United States. And on the data that I was able to pull, 350 to 750,000 of those single-family homes are institutionally owned, which that would break down to be 0.3 to 0.75% of all single-family homes that are institutionally investor owned. so less than 1%. Now, there's been some data that has come out by a real estate analytics company called CoreLogic, and this is what they said. They have said that nearly 24% of single-family homes have been purchased by investors. Now, you might think individual investors, but they don't differentiate between a small investor like myself who might buy 3, 4, 10, 20 homes, and the big institutional investors. They don't consider the moms and pops that are out there also investing in single-family homes. Now, with all this data, it doesn't mean that there aren't pockets in the United States that have more homes that are institutionally owned than other places. We've seen the Sun Belt, or the southern part of the United States, such as Florida, Nevada, Georgia, Arizona, that have a larger percentage of single-family homes that are owned by institutional investors. And one of those largest homes is Arizona, that has 9.7% of all their single-family homes that are institutionally owned. And those areas have seen an increase in rents, but that might not be the only factor that's driving up the price of rents. Matter of fact, because during the same period of time that this data was pulled, over the last few years, South Dakota saw an increase in rents, and they have 0 single-family homes that are institutionally owned. But they saw rental prices increase by 24%. So I don't tell you this to defend those large institutional investors, trust me. I don't want them buying up single-family homes either. But there are other factors in play, and one of the largest factors is that supply isn't keeping up with demand. When you see single-family homes appreciate fairly consistently over a 4 to 5 year period of time, it means that there isn't enough supply being issued to the market where demand is constantly high. And currently, some of the data I pulled is we're about 4 million single-family homes short of what is needed in the United States. And with that, you see rental prices go up because people that can't afford to buy a home, or there isn't a home to buy, are going to rent. And if there's more renters in the rental pool, obviously the price of rents are gonna go up. And one final piece that I found really interesting was this. Now, even though I couldn't find any data that says that these institutional investors are owning 60% of single-family homes by 2030, there was a piece of data that did say that these institutional investors could own up to 40% of single-family home rentals. And that's different. Let me explain why. So single-family homes that are being rented right now makes up about 14 million homes. And as you remember, there's 100 million single-family homes in the United States right now. So 14 million of those are single-family homes that are rented. And 40% of that would be 5.6 million. And if that was accurate, on the whole of all the 100 million single-family homes that are in the United States, that would leave only 5% that are institutionally owned. Because remember, these institutionally owned organizations are buying single-family homes to rent, right? Which would be, of that 14 million, 40% of that is 5 million, or 5% of the total pool of single-family homes in the United States. So my analysis to say that these institutional investors are buying up all the single-family homes just isn't completely accurate. And to say that they are completely responsible for causing this housing crisis also isn't completely accurate. Now, they can obviously be one key cog in multiple cogs that are causing this to happen. So where does that leave you as an investor when it comes to single-family homes? Well, first off, I think it provides an amazing opportunity to go out there and buy single-family homes. If you think about it, when you purchase a single-family home, there are a ton of different strategies that you can utilize when owning a single-family home. Whether it's a lease option, whether it's a slow flip, whether it's a straight rental, whether it's a short-term rental or a mid-term rental, depending on where you're at, there's a lot of strategies you can utilize. And here's the cool thing about that. If you buy a single-family home and you get traditional financing, and let's say that you're able to even get that as a 15-year mortgage, right, at a lower interest rate because it's 15 years, and if you could rent that out to somebody who is paying all of your mortgage, insurance, and taxes, and you own that home for 15 years, at the end of 15 years, you will own an asset that is free and clear, that doesn't own any money, and you would have had somebody else pay for that the whole time. Now, obviously, there's gonna be some vacancy rates there, but even if you had to make up payments even 5 or 10% of the time, that is still a fantastic deal, because once you include appreciation of that asset 15 years down the road, it's gonna be worth a whole lot more than when you first purchased it. And currently, right now, I'm utilizing a strategy where I'm finding homes in the Midwest that are well below market value, but are move-in ready, that I can utilize some of these lease option and slow flip strategies. That's what I'm currently doing in this market, but I'd be interested in what you've seen. When it comes to single-family homes that are being rented, what rumors have you heard? Which strategies are you utilizing? So comment below, let's engage in a dialogue. And as always, just for stopping by and watch this video, I've got a free gift for you. It is my short-term rental calculator. You put in the price of the home, the income, the expenses, and this software will actually spit out to you whether it's a good deal or not, and it's 100% free, no questions asked. Just click on the link below, aaronsfreetraining.com. Thanks for stopping by. Have an amazing day.